Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Victory Post podcast. And before we go ahead and do this podcast, I want to talk a little bit about my bodybuilding show coming on November 11th in Tucson, Arizona. And this is an NEMBF show, and it's also a natural show. So if you are natural and you want to compete for your prestigious IPE Pro, then this show is for you. Come on, come on, come have fun, enjoy the great weather of Arizona. It's gonna be very nice over here, so can't wait to see you all. All right, so we do have a very special guest. Her name is Kaylee, and Kaylee, I want to thank you very much for coming to my podcast.
Yes, thanks for having me. Super
Yes,
excited to be here.
yeah. So we've known each other, I think, for about I don't know, for about 2 or 3 years now. And I think the first time we met was on the Summer Smash, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
believe so. Yeah,
What a fun time.
yeah. That was a fun times.
It's
And
fun. Summer Smash is always fun.
it's always fun, yeah, to meet new people. Just get to know people. Um, this podcast we're gonna be talking about first from Legionnaire program, and Kaylee can tell us more about that. But before Kaylee jumps into that, we just want to know just a little bit about Kaylee, and I know she really, really, really loves food. So maybe she can talk a little bit about food, how what she loves, and what she cooks and all that stuff. And I know she's also very adventurous, and from all pictures and images from Instagram and all that stuff. So she can talk a little bit about that too. So Kaylee, can you do us the favor, introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your food, your love for food, your love for adventure, and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Kaylee Beckley here. I am 24. I am from Canada, so Alberta, Canada. Been, doing what I do now, online coaching, fitness. I'm a CrossFit coach as well. But mostly right now, I would say more so an online health and fitness coach, primarily actually specializing in women. I do work with some guys, but primarily my niche is women. So I really focus on helping women with restrictive eating backgrounds, or just learning to fuel their bodies and fuel their bodies properly. Because I noticed that the number one thing as a coach and what I've been doing for now, gosh, 2, 3 years now, is the biggest problem out there a lot of women have is restrictive eating or dieting for a long period of time, or always being constantly in that yo-yo cycle, right? Where, they're eating 1,200 calories one day, and then, the next day they're eating 2,300, and, they just struggle so much with being able to create this life or healthy lifestyle. Sorry. And I think that's super, super important. Sorry. As women, and especially as a mom, right? I do work with a lot of moms as well, and they need to show up, right? Women in general need to show up for their jobs, their spouses, their kids, their families, their careers. There's so many things out there that they need to show up for. And I think the number one thing out there that, takes a toll on them is number one, not eating enough, right? We know how important, especially you, we know how important food is for our bodies, right? And not only physically, but truly just like mentally, right? Emotionally, right? All these things come into play. And as a coach, and over the years, the biggest issue I've had with women coming to me is like, hey, I've been on this diet, or hey, I've lost 50 pounds in the past, gained 80 back, then down 30, then gained 20 back, right? And it's always this yo-yo. Or they're finding, hey, like I'll do something for so long and then I'll just quit, right? They don't learn to develop a healthy lifestyle for a long period of time to be able to sustain all of that, and again, make it a healthy lifestyle, a lifestyle that they truly can sustain, right? And that's where my love for food comes into play. That's where my love for fitness, coaching, all of those things, just because I'm able to help so many women out there, so many people in general, but primarily, like I said, women, help them develop a healthier lifestyle, whether that be just nutrition, whether that be, fitness, whether that be a combo of both. In even, a lot of my successful clients that have lost, 180, 90, 30 pounds and made total body transformations, is they will do, nutrition and fitness with me for a long period of time, where by the end of their time with me, they've developed that healthy lifestyle that, hey, I can go on vacation without, gaining 20 pounds, or hey, you know what, I can, diet doesn't start Monday, so I think that's super super important. And that's, again, like I had said, where my love for food comes into play, because I'm able to educate so many people on it, and show a lot of people that, hey, you know what, you can have that piece of cake at your daughter's birthday, it's okay. You can go out for supper, you can go out for beers with the girls, you can go have wine, you can have all those things and still see results too. And my mission here, and something that I'm sure that I talk about a lot, is helping people, especially women. Like I said, that's my niche primarily, but help women achieve a life full of food freedom while seeing results that they never thought possible, right? Because a lot of people come to me and they're like, there's no way I'm going to see results, eating 18, 1900 calories. I'm like, girl, just let me work with you for a few months and you wait, so so I love that aspect of things. So I think for me, it's very, very important too that I learn, balance myself, right? And I will be very honest too. Like, I really struggled with that in my past too. And by no means, I'm still young. By no means am I old or anything. I'm still very young. But I have had a lot of, past struggles, and struggles that I'm currently actually still working through, when it comes to food and when it comes to restrictive eating. Because I think as a woman in general, we are all very hard on ourselves, no matter who you are out there. Us women, we are so hard on ourselves, right? Like, one day we'll look in the mirror and we'll be like, oh gosh, like, I'm looking damn fine today. And then the next day you're like, what the hell is this? Like, are you serious? Like, nothing's happening, right? And I think, as women, we beat ourselves up so much, that, like I said, I'm kind of still working through this. I'm, still finding a love for balance with, being able to, have fun foods, but also, achieve a physique that I want to for myself, right? And I think over time, it's always something that's challenging. It's always something that, it's not every day is going to be perfect, not every day is it, gonna be ideal. And that's why you always hear me say to, 1% one day at a time. And that's truly what I believe is 1% one day at a time. That's my mission. That's my motto. That's something I live up to myself, because obviously, even as a health and fitness coach, even with, helping hundreds of ladies lose 180, 90 pounds, by no means am I even perfect either. There's days where I've, truth be told, ate everything in the freaking kitchen just because, I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, that kind of sucks. I'm going to go eat my feelings now, and then the next day you wake up and it's like, why did I do that yesterday? But sometimes it's like, I got to give myself grace. I am human. Yeah. Was that great to do? No, probably not. But you know what? Today we're going to get 1% better, and we're not going to do that. And we're going to go for a walk today. Or, you know what? I find, even as me, I get constantly sucked into, hey, you know what, 1 week was really good. Okay, we're going. And then the next day, everything goes to crap. And it's like, okay, well, I might as well just throw that under the bus. I had ice cream. You know what? Now I might as well have a cheeseburger, pizza, literally all the things, where it's like, no, slow down. That's okay. Let's move on with our day. That doesn't mean the rest of our day has to go to crap. Let's move on. Let's accept it. Let's know that we're human. Let's have something. And then the next day is a new day, right? And that's something I really try and coach my ladies on. And it's something, like I said too, like, by no means am I perfect. I'm still working on this myself. But I think that's something super important, something that, like I talked about my mission there, just going back to that mission and, getting 1% better and, helping others achieve a life, full of food freedom while seeing results that they never thought possible. So that's kind of my background. I know I kind of went on a little chaotic rampage there. That's what I do all the time. You know this, you know me.
Yeah.
I get on a little rampage. But yeah, I guess that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit what I do. That's my mission. And yeah, that's that in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks, Kelly, for sharing this. So yeah, 1% at a time. Take it one step at a time. Split your goals into small individual attacks that you can really achieve. So thanks very much for sharing that. So now let's move on to the Legionnaire program. Where you started, where you are, and your goals in the future. So can we jump into that? So I have something that I want you to talk about right now. So for this picture, I think is a transformation picture for you, right?
Mm.
When you did you get into first form when you were um, on your left or on your right? How did you achieve this transformation?
I started with first form when I was on my right
On your
there.
right there,
So
okay.
yes. So a little background, like I talked about before, my background with restrictive eating, feeling like I needed to, eat 1,200 calories, do all the cardio in the world, restrict myself, not go. Fun fact, actually, in grade like 11, 12, I would literally not go to parties because there was alcohol and food there. Like that was me. I
Oh,
would
really?
not. Yes, I would
Okay.
not go because I did not want to see it. I did not want to have it. And I knew if I went, I would overeat and all of that shit. I would drink so much. Like that was just like my mentality. It's an all or nothing mentality. And I think that can be a good thing, but that can also be a really bad thing. And that's still something I truly am really working on. Especially, when it comes to fitness, you've met me too, when I did, do CrossFit and competed at CrossFit in a high level, I was all in. I was all there. And then when I wasn't, when I leaned off CrossFit, it was like I went from, 0 to 100 or 100 back to zero, right? I would be like, oh, well, I'm not really training anymore. Like, I'm just going to go have like chips, pop, pizza, cake. Like, it doesn't matter anymore, right? So that's something I'm still, currently working on. And I think, when it comes to something like that, you obviously see in the photo there that it does take time and it truly never does go away. It's always something that you do have to work on. But I think the photo you see on the left there, that was probably my really lowest state. Yeah, I looked super happy there. But truth be told, in that photo you see on the left, I thought I was very fat. And I hate using that word. I hate using the word fat, but I truly did. And like even me looking at this photo now makes me emotional that I would think that I look like that. Um, and that just breaks my heart so bad. So then fast forward, I was like, okay, no, we need to find some love for weightlifting. We need to put on some muscles. We need to eat more. Because actually I was almost hospitalized because of this. And to a point where I would not eat anything. I would just do cardio, and it's like something woke me up one day and was like, you know what, you need to change, or else you're not going to have a great life, right? So that's when I started lifting weights. I started eating more. I started prioritizing protein. I started to find my love for fitness and nutrition because my body started to change. I started to get muscle tone. I started to gain muscle and it started to feel so good. I started to have a lot of energy. I started to, actually love my body and what it could do, lifting weights that, when I was in the gym, no other woman was lifting the weights that I was. It was cool, right? And then fast forward, I found, I was working as an online health and fitness coach. I just graduated, got my diploma in personal training, wanted to take that to the next step and go figure, as it's pumpkin spice latte season, I found protein online, pumpkin spice latte, and it was First Forms. And I was like, you know what? That sounds delicious. And I'm like, I need to try this. So I tried the pumpkin spice latte protein from First Form, fell in love with it. Yes, those are so good.
Yep, yep.
So those pumpkin spice tarts, so good.
So
Y'all
good,
gotta
huh?
um, but found it, and then I did find the Legionnaire program, and I was like, okay, what the heck is this, right? And I knew I was going to be an online fitness coach. Something told me, yes, being a personal trainer is awesome, but I knew I wanted to do it online, and I
Okay.
wanted to try and attract as many women as possible. Obviously, women I talk to in general, women I see face to face, yes, but how can I grow this and how can I make more interaction, I think online was the way to go. And be mindful, this is all happened when COVID started. So as we know, COVID, you can't see people, right? And there were so many women out there struggling with motivation. So I actually posted workouts online, and this was, gosh, if you scroll down in my Instagram feed all the way to I started this account, there will be workouts there from like 2019, maybe 2020. So I started that and then got into the Legionnaire program, started talking with people. Elena, she's my everything. But started in there, and they gave me an idea to create a Facebook group, right? And I was like, you know what, this is going to be great for, what I'm doing anyway, right? So I started posting workouts in the Facebook group, and I guess that was the start of all of this. Like after all of that, it all went boom. Like that's when I truly started to grow. I now have almost 600 ladies a part of my Facebook community, where I post workouts, recipes, tips, tricks, education, literally all the things, and it is for free. And I started this all just from COVID, right? And after all of that, I, really started to dial in my coaching. I got some nutrition certifications. I still had my PT, obviously, but I really started to transition into the online world. And then fast forward now, I do the odd coaching, like I said, at a gym, but I primarily work online right now, and I help hundreds of women with their weight loss, fat loss goals. I help a lot of women gain muscle. People that struggle what I used to struggle with, right? Feeling like I can't put on muscle, or maybe they do struggle with, like I had said too, calorie restrictive, wanting to change their bodies, things like that. And yeah, that's kind of like where I am now. And if it wasn't for the 1stPhorm Legionnaire program, I don't know if I would have created that Facebook group. I don't know if I would have grown the way I had today. I actually don't think I would have,
Okay.
because there were times where I wanted to quit. Like it was so much work, and I just didn't think it was sustainable. And I was like, how am I ever going to be able to do this for a living? And I just had a lot of amazing people. The 1stPhorm community truly is amazing people, as you know that too, where
Yep.
they do push you to the extent. And I truly think if it wasn't for them, I would not be where I am today. I would not have the business I have today. I would not have met so many people that I have today, and I would not travel as much as I do today. Like that's also the cool part for me, is just traveling to the States, at least like, gosh, since I started with 1stPhorm, I think I've traveled like 4 times a year to see you guys down in the States. Like, I don't know, like, and I don't think I would have traveled that much, if I wasn't worth them, right? Or met all these amazing people, like even having some of like Damien and Bailey come down to Banff, right? And just all those amazing connections. And now Lena being like literally one of my, like, literally my best friend. And it's so cool. And I'm so beyond blessed that I found them through Pumpkin Spice Latte.
There you go. There you go. Fast from changing lives every day,
It's
right? One at a time. One at a time. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yes.
So I want us to talk about this image. So what is this image? But before you talk about this image, can you tell us just a little bit about what the First from Legionnaire program is?
1stPhorm Legionnaire program.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's such a great program. If you're looking to help others or make a huge impact, right? 1stPhorm's mission is, to help as many people as possible, achieve long-term habits, right? Long-term sustainable results, essentially, right?
Yep.
And I think if you are someone out there and you're wanting to help someone, you are wanting to make a difference in this world, you're wanting to create an impact, just like 1stPhorm has done for so many different ways, different people. That's definitely where to start, right? Or if you are looking to take, maybe like myself, take your online coaching to the next level, or just learn tips and tricks, then that is such a great program to jump into, because like I said, I've learned so much. And I truly think if it wasn't for 1stPhorm, if it wasn't for the community, if it wasn't for the program that I started with, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be, the coach I am today. I wouldn't have the business I have today. I wouldn't have the impact that I have today. I wouldn't be a sponsored trainer. There's so many things, and it's super beneficial for sure.
Sweet. Now talking about sponsored trainer, looking at that image, it seems like you are very, very proud of that image right over there. What so what does it take to be a Legionnaire, from going from a Legionnaire to a sponsored trainer?
Takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of work.
Okay.
It takes, and I don't even want to say, a lot of work, right? I don't want to say, it takes this, and this, right? Because truly at one point I did focus on I want to be a sponsor trainer. Like I just want to be a sponsor trainer. At that point I was chasing a title, right? To be fair, fun fact, when I got my sponsor trainer position, I did not like I wasn't even thinking about it. It was the least of my worries right then. I was just focusing on my people, trying to create change. Actually, when they announced sponsor trainer, I was literally like cleaning a gym, answering I think messages in the app. I knew that the call was going on, but I was like, I'm not. Nah, I'll listen to the recording, right? um, I had no idea, and I think that's a huge change where it's like no matter what it is in life, you can't chase a title. Like no matter what's going on, and I think sometimes that's even hard. Sometimes for me to think, right? Or it's like, oh, I want this many followers, or I want this reach, right? Where you gotta stop and just appreciate where you're at, the people you've impacted, the difference you're making, and not chase just a title. Because at the end of the day, what is that title to you? It's just a title,
Yep.
right? You're not. It's just yeah, that's what it is, right? But what's the impact you're making, right? Who are you changing, right? Are you changing lives? Are you truly filling your cup every day? And I think at the end of the day, yeah, being a sponsor trainer, it's cool, it's rewarding, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm filling my cup, as long as I'm helping, like I said, one person one day at a time, as long as I'm creating one small impact, that's truly all I ever want to do for the rest of my life. And if it truly just fills my cup so much that I'm able to do that every single day. And I think sometimes even me just saying that now, it's some days I need to be like, okay, that is truly a blessing. So sometimes I think we take that for granted. On the days that we are having those hard days, and it's like, is it worth it anymore? And it's like, yes, it's worth it, right? It's always worth it. There's going to be hard days, and I think it goes back to that title, that I never did truly just give up. Yeah, I had hard days. Yeah, there were days I wanted to quit, but the next day I woke up and just got right back to it. There was no question about it again. There was no doubt. It was just like, hey, this is what I do. I just need to wake up and go get back to work, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday might not have been the best, but you know what? Hey, today I know what I got to do. I know the lives that I can impact today. So today's the day to do it. So yeah, yeah, that's that.
Yep. This is very powerful. So yeah. So basically, to summarize what she's saying, she's basically saying, number one, be selfless, right? Be selfless, and the first form mission is to go out there and change lives, right? And that's what she's doing. She doesn't really care about the title. The only thing she cares about is going out there and changing lives one at a time. So yeah, thank you very much.
One person. 10.
Yep, one person at a time. Yep. So let's continue. Let's talk a little bit about your clients. I think I
Yeah.
have some. I think I have some pictures over here that we can go through. Okay, so
Oh my gosh.
can you jump into that? Let's talk a little bit about your clients.
Do you see how like I just get like I just light up when when you show my clients. Oh my god. Yes, so that's one of my gals. She's absolutely crushing it. Her and I are very similar. We have an all or nothing mindset. And we both struggle with, still, like I had said before, on those stressful days wanting to, head towards the kitchen and, eat our feelings and things like that. And we are so similar that way. And I think that's why we really do have that really good connection, is because she knows that I struggle with stuff like that too. And I think that's what makes our connection even stronger, and why she's got to, the point that she does, is because one thing I always tell her, and like I had said before, is like, hey, when you mess up today, like that's okay. Let's go have a good sleep and let's get back on it tomorrow. And that's truly her journey. Is I've literally, just like I'd said before, is 1% one day at a time, and that is ingrained in her. And she knows, like, hey, if I have a bad day one day, the next day I just got to get back on track again. And I can clearly say, like, those results are from that. It's simply just 1% one day at a time. Yeah, she's, tracking her macros with me. I'm giving her her calories, her protein, her carbs, her fats for her goals. She is doing, CrossFit a few times a week. She's getting in walks. She does actually weekly phone calls with me too, which obviously that helps for extra accountability. A lot of my clients that you see that have really good results, they actually hop on a phone call with me 15 to 20 minutes a week. And that really helps them just with accountability aspect of things, right?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I think no matter who you are, we all need that accountability person to say, hey, what the heck was going on last Thursday? Why didn't we do this, right? Where it's over the phone and she's like, ah, shit, she caught me. I can't make any excuses now. So I think that's really helped her too. But she is down over 30 pounds. Um, Made a total body transformation, lifting more than ever in CrossFit,
Mm.
doing rope climbs, which is so fun. And yeah, she's crushing it. She truly is.
Yeah, cause that's an amazing transformation. I saw that and I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yes, he
That
looks
took a
so
lot of
good.
work. That took a lot of work, and I really appreciate the work that goes into it for sure. So, yeah,
Yes,
good
yeah.
job, good job, good job in doing that, and continue to empower all ladies across the universe. Um, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Oh yes. My dude. So I don't work with a lot of guys.
Nice. Yep.
However, um, he and his wife actually started with me,
Okay.
and they've done, oh my gosh, both of them have done amazing. They are so supportive of each other, and I think that's huge when it comes to your health and fitness, right?
Yep.
Is having a supportive partner or having people around you to support you. I think that's huge, and I think that if you don't have that, you can really struggle on your journey. So these two, well, him and his wife, came to me wanting to lose some weight, wanting to change their lifestyle. And they've honestly, yeah, they've been working with me since May, so it hasn't even been that long. And they've made a total transformation, not only physically, mentally, lifestyle, even their kids, which is so cool. I was actually talking to him on the phone a few weeks ago. We were talking on the phone, and he told me, he goes, Kaylee, guess what? And I was like, what? And he goes, his daughter, or sorry, she's not like a morning person or anything. She started going to yoga, and she does not exercise. She hated waking up early in the morning. Now she's going to yoga in the morning just because her dad had made this just impact on
Mm.
her from living a healthier lifestyle. And she was seeing him move all the time, going on the treadmill, lifting weights. Fun fact, he actually ran on the treadmill for the first time in, I think he said, like 20 years, a month ago. And he ran like 2 to 3 miles. And he
Oh
had
wow.
never done that in like 20 years, which was crazy. Lifting weights again, and he's eating more. And that's the thing, he's eating more. And look at his midsection, right? I
Yep.
think that's awesome. That's so awesome. And then same with his wife too. Same thing. They started implementing that. They had a home gym. They never used it really. So now they are implementing it. They're using it daily. They're going for walks together. They're meal prepping together. They do weekly phone calls with me, and they're just kicking ass. They are truly kicking ass. Each week they've either lost, their body's changed, or they've had a huge, just a win in general. Like,
Yep.
hey, you know what? I can walk up the stairs without, having to cough. I'm running on the treadmill. I'm lifting weights again. I had a comment from a family member I hadn't seen in a while that I looked amazing, right? All those other things. So at least once a week, I always hear some win from them, which is awesome.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of your work, and I'm actually a big fan, and that's why you are on here. Not not because you're my friend, but because you put in the work, not for yourself, but for also your clients. So yeah. So um, I want us to talk about this one over here. Who is she? And
Oh, yes.
yeah.
She is that lady right there. She is someone, gosh, she's got a huge place in my heart. She truly does. Because I think her transformation is what really took off. Not only just for my business because it was such a huge transformation, but for me and my coaching business. I think her transformation was my first really really big one, which made my job so rewarding. I think after that transformation, I was like, and just like all the words she had said to me, I think right in that moment, I found my purpose and I knew what I needed to do after that. I needed to continue helping women like her achieve so much. And she actually goes to my gym that I coach at. So I
Okay.
see her once a week in person, and she does work with me. She still works with me. And gosh, that was like in January, it'll be 2 years since,
Mm,
and she's still working with me, right?
nice.
So in that first photo, she was doing CrossFit, couldn't do box jumps, couldn't do a pull up, couldn't really run, had a lot of pain, knee pain, back pain, wanted to start skiing again, couldn't do any of that. Now, fast forward to where she is today, and I know that's an older picture, but she can do all of that. She's working on her bar muscle ups now. Oh my gosh, like at 40, doing some bar muscle ups. She goes for runs, she goes for walks. She's eating more food than she ever has in her life, fitting into, more clothes, going clothes shopping all the time, buying new clothes. Her and her husband, actually, this is another one. Her and her husband both work with me. And skiing again, feeling so good when it's winter and ski season. Her knees don't hurt anymore. She's amazing. She's done a whole body mind transformation. Even her mindset has changed tremendously. And one thing I love about her is she goes out to eat like 2 times a week, 1 or 2 times a week, has wine weekly, has literally all the fun foods. So she's amazing. And like I said, I think she's all my clients are very special to me, but I think she's someone that truly did start it for me, and she helped me, find my passion. And I think after her transformation, that's where it clicked for me that hey, this is you're meant to do this.
All right. What's her name?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Well, Chelsea, thank you for giving Kylie, what do we call it? Opportunity to shine or to start, to not give up. So
Yes.
thank you very much. Yeah, she's been a wonderful friend. I really adore her and the things she's doing. So thank you for that. Um,
Yeah.
now to move on. Let's move on to this girl. I have no idea who this girl is. Can you
Uh,
can we all have to set example, right? Set example
yeah.
first. So can you talk about who that girl is? I have no idea who that girl is.
Yeah, that girl is me. Um, I think that girl, she's still working on herself. I don't
Yeah.
think that's done yet. I've had a lot of unforeseen circumstances happen lately. I feel like my past like 3 months have truly been a roller coaster. Fun fact, well, not fun fact at all. But I actually got in a car accident, a really bad one, and it'll almost be a month ago, coming up here soon. And, that was pretty traumatic for me. And I'm still going through, the emotions post car accident. I'm still going through the trauma. I'm still trying to deal with all of that. And I think that girl still needs a lot of work. And I came to realize that actually this week. I thought I was, doing okay. Where it's like, I think for me, one thing I really struggle with is and as you can probably tell, putting others before myself,
Yep.
and not realizing and hiding a lot of my emotions, to give to others. And then when I truly am alone or when I'm not working, then they all come out, and it's like, okay, like I haven't worked on myself. I've been putting so many people before myself lately that, I need to figure, my stuff out. I need to get back on track with my health. I still, need to be that leading example. And by no means am I saying I'm not a leading example. I still do, work out all the time. Right now, currently, as best as I can with my back pain, my neck pain post car accident, a lot of discomfort going on. Still getting in lots of walking, doing some yoga, doing a lot of physio massage, tracking my macros and things like that. But I think mentally that girl has still a lot of work to do, and something that, I need to figure out. I need to focus on myself. And I think for everyone out there listening, like, know that if you are struggling right now, or if you are someone like me and you put everyone before yourself, like, take a moment to, realize that and know that, hey, number one, you are human, but number two, you matter too, and you're important too. And one thing I always tell people is, like, hey, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of others, right? And that's something that I've really told myself this week. Like, Kaylee, you're taking care of so many people right now. You also need to take care of yourself, because I think that's huge. And in that photo that you showed, that was actually, what was that, July, I think?
I believe so. Let me.
July, yeah. So I was actually on 75 hard during that time, and oh my gosh, it was so great for me. I can't even explain how great 75. Yes, I was on 75 hard. I started 75 hard after my 24th birthday, so that was June, and I was on 75 hard there, and unfortunately, I had to end 75 hard the day of my car accident. And at that day, I was only 10 days away from finishing, which was heartbreaking. But obviously, that was a non controllable. I couldn't control anything in that circumstance, right? I just got in a car accident. I was in the hospital. I couldn't, I had to stop. Right there, it was a non-negotiable. Fun fact, though, I did actually ask the doctor if I could leave and go for a walk, because I was like, I know I'm gonna finish 75 hard. I'm like, I only have 10 days. I'm in the hospital. I'm gonna finish. And he looked at me and he said, "Are you crazy? You just no, you just got in a car accident." I'm like, "Well, can I just go for a walk? Like, I'm fine." And I think I just had so much, like, adrenaline obviously going on.
Yeah.
But I really did want to finish, and I'm super bummed I didn't. I was only 10 days away from finishing. And then, like I said, I think that I was in my best mental state at that photo right there that you've seen. And then, of course, accident, things like that. I've kind of creeped down a little bit, but this week I've done a lot of journaling, done a lot of self evaluation and things like that. That I know what I need to do moving forward. It's just a matter of now, hey, Kay, you gotta start doing it, because you can't let those things fall through the cracks. And like I said, for those of you listening out there that are struggling, maybe struggling with something in your life, not prioritizing yourself first, if you're out there, here's your reminder, like, hey, now there's no better time than now to get started and change moving forward, so you can be your best self as well. So that was a lot.
That was a lot, but it was very good information, though. Very,
Yeah.
very good information, and it just boils down to never give up, right? You surely gonna have stuff going on in your life, but again, it boils down to, hey, you shouldn't
Yeah,
give
and
up. You shouldn't give up. That's not who you are. That's not what God made you into. So, keep going, keep striving for success. So, thanks for sharing that. We are at the very end of this podcast, but before I let you go, Kylie, want you to give us three tips to live by.
3 tips to
Yep,
lead by.
yep.
Okay, so number one, I think, what I just talked about, like, nothing changes if nothing changes, right? If you're struggling with something, you gotta get out of it, and you need to learn how to. And if you're not willing to put in the work to see, okay, how do I get out of this, or how do I change, then nothing's gonna happen, right? You're always gonna stay there. Number two, I think it's truly just like I always say, and I say this, my ladies know this, for all my ladies, they know all of this, but 1%, one day at a time. If you're struggling today, wake up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Let's get 1% better. We don't have to go from 0 to 100. We don't have to do that. We just got to get 1% better. And that 1% over time is going to lead to tremendous results, whatever, even if it's fitness or not, right? No matter what it is, it's going to lead to days worth and endless days of success by simply just doing 1% every single day. And then I think my last point would be, don't be too hard on yourself. I think that's something I really struggle with, is being really hard on myself. Especially, seeing that girl in the left, who she is today and what she does now. I would have never thought that that's what I would be doing today. So that would be my last one, is don't be so hard on yourself. Take every day, for do the best that you can, fill your cup, fill other people's cup, go out of your way for someone, do something, because like even that actually post car accidents, like you never know what can happen, right? You never know, and I think that was a huge light bulb that went out for me, where it's like, wow, like I was given another day for a reason, and I think that's super super important. So don't be too hard on yourself. Days are short, and yeah, just keep going after what you want to accomplish.
Nice, nice. So, Kylie, I want to thank you very much for coming to my podcast, sharing your story, your journey, and giving very good tips for us to live by. So thank you very much. And for everyone watching, I want to thank you all for coming. And it's been a very great podcast. I really enjoy getting to know Kelly more and what she does for First Form and what First Form has done for her also. So um, you know, that's the Instagram page, KRB Health underscore performance.
Yep.
So go give her a follow. If you need help, she's the lady to go to. So I hope you can do that. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me as well. All right, then. Thank you very much. I'm gonna see you all on the next podcast. Kelly, thank you very
Same.
much too.
Of course.
Yeah.